Today our window fell down and it won't go back up, so I'm going to show you how to replace the window regulator in an E150. If this video helps you out, give it a like. We're going to pop this panel off here. It just clips on. Got a screw there. I'm going to pop this switch panel here up. Just put the screwdriver, flatbed screwdriver in the back, push toward the front and lift up. You got a screw down in there. We're going to pop this. There should be a cover here on this bottom one. We got a screw there. We got a screw here above the handle. And this panel is going to pop out. The flathead right here in the front, and we got another screw holding the panel on right here. And now we're just gonna slide that through the hole, and this is just gonna lift up and off, and then we're gonna carefully remove this plastic panel here. Somebody's already ripped into it. Tape that back together. If your plastic panel is totally unusable, you can use a shower curtain also and just cut it to the right shape, put the holes where they need to be. They're pretty cheap at Walmart. Alright, that's out of the way enough for us to get to what we need to. But what happens is these cables, the housings break, and then the cables lose tension and the window just falls down. Disconnect the window regulator, and it's held in with rivets down here and bolts up here. It also looks like the glass has rivets holding it to the metal there, so we're gonna have to drill those out. And here's the motor over here, so we got to drill that out, that out, that out, unscrew both of those, drill those out, and then drill out the ones here in the glass. You want to be real careful with these ones that are in the glass. We're gonna do the glass ones first, that way we're not moving everything around while we're trying to drill those out. To get to the other rivet that's attached to the glass, we have to lower it down to this hole here, and we're gonna have to probably drill that one. So how I'm gonna do that is I'm just gonna cut these cables. Make sure you're not cutting the cable that unlocks or unlatches the latch mechanism. You wanna make sure that the ones you're cutting are both attached to the window regulator. And that just allows the glass to go wherever you want, basically. But now we can lower it down until we see that other rivet. And we're gonna go ahead and remove that one. So what I've had to do on some of these rivets is a Dremel would be ideal, but I don't have one of those, so I'm using one of these little saws. And I'm just basically just grinding away the rivet. Until there's really nothing left of it. You can take a chisel or a screwdriver or whatever, put it in the center, and you can just kind of... Now that all the rivets have been taken care of, we're going to remove these two 11mm up here at the top. We're going to lift the glass all the way up. It's kind of still sticking. There we go. Now it's free from the regulator. Masking tape would be ideal for holding this up. Actually, suction cups would be ideal, but if you got tape, masking tape would be the way to go. I don't have any, so we're using duct tape. All right, now the regulator assembly should come out of the door. There we go. Now we're gonna go get a shop vac and get all the metal flakes that probably fell down in there and any pieces of the old regulator that fell in there. The door's gonna rattle. Got some pretty big pieces in there. So now that we've got everything cleaned up, we're gonna slide this back in there, and it goes in there kind of like this. You can see the cables here, and it's gonna go like that. Just gonna put the bottom in first. Slide the motor over to its alignment slots over here. Got these tabs hanging out. Kind of helps you line things up. And you're gonna need one of these larger riveting tools, and the rivets come with the new regulator. So you just pop it in there, open it up, and you're gonna slide it in through the hole in the door and the hole in the window regulator bracket, and just start popping that rivet. Do the same thing on the other holes. Slide the pigtail out. And we're gonna go ahead and line these two up top here. And those are hanging out. Before we tighten those down, we're gonna put these bottom two rivets in because these move around quite a bit. So you wanna get the bottom lined up first. Make sure you hold it against the door while you're doing it. That one's kind of getting started. We're going to make sure that this other one is also lined up before we totally pop that one in. Both of those are in place. Now we're going to screw these 11 millimeters back on. Now we're going to remove the tape from the glass and lower it down and line up the two brackets. As you can see, it already was in position to be lined up with these two holes. I'm gonna raise that up just a little bit, actually. There we go. It's about centered in that viewing window. Before I pop that one, I want to line up the other one as well. Make sure everything's lined up right. That one went right in. There we go. And we're gonna do the back one. Same thing as the front. All right, test it out. All right, now we're gonna put this plastic back on and we're gonna use the duct tape to hold it together and hold it to the door in case this glue doesn't want to stick anymore. Make sure you don't block any of these holes that the door panel is going to hook into. We're going to raise that up, make it easier to line up with the door panel. And these hooks are going to hook on to the door. Just get that unlock peg lined up first and make sure that your lip up here is on top of the rubber where it's supposed to be, and just hold it against the door while you lower it down. Also fish the switches through this hole here, don't forget about that. There we go. Now we're going to put all our screws back in. Put the front down and under there first. And with this one, you're going to slide the back in first. And we got to put the screw back in. And we got one last screw down here at the bottom. Once your panel's on, if you need to trim this electrical tape, or you need to trim that duct tape if it's hanging out at all, you can go ahead and do that. The door panel should hold that plastic there once everything's assembled anyway. Put this panel back, bottom goes in first, and then it just clips in. And that's it. High five, you did it.